But I think you're right. I think Galio and Zach both need to be definitely looked at. Blitzcrank is going to be the first one to go.
I'm actually surprised to see it banned over the Xayah. Again, I think the Xayah might be the bigger headache of the two options, but it could just be a double ban for all I know. They're on the blue side, so Samsung a bit freer with what they can ban.
Yeah. And maybe Samsung thinking that they'll leave as much open as they want, just all go with targeted bans, so the Jarvan going to leave.
I like the Jarvan ban, because again, it's going to be Linderung's third game of the season. One woeful, the second one a lot better. Just ban away what he looked good on and continue to force him to get to uncomfortable spots. All right, jungle pool starting to get really focused on. I don't know.
Elise on blue side is odd though, Papa Smithy.
I don't know. I don't feel like Samsung are going to be rushing towards the Lee Sin.
No.
Didn't see much from Ambition on it. It's been an Ambition legacy pick, but it feels like it might be looked over. I could even see a first pick Gragas for Samsung just to have a flex pick there between QV and Ambition.
Yeah, Zyra once again going to be taken away from Core JJ, but Crown just going to take the Syndra himself and say, hey, Mickey, figure it out. Work out what you're going to take into it. Of course, historically, it's been things like the Vladimir and the Echo, but, I mean, are they going to work in this post-mid-season patch?
It's a fair question. You know, it's the Jace being hovered now. If that's a Mickey pick, and Mickey has taken Jace into Syndra before, it can do okay, but definitely doesn't feel great if the first kill comes in and starts rolling from there. So, flex pick, although that was the champion that, of course, Linderung had all his woes on 2 days ago.
That. Oh, a little bit frightening if it was going to be in his hands. Doesn't want to have the flashbacks, but Songwan, we'll see what he decides to pick up. Whether he goes towards the Lee Sin or wants to shake it up completely, possibly pick up a Thresh, which has been left open. And there it is, hovered at least.
Do I dare utter the words Zed when we're talking about Mickey? Because Zed has a good laning phase against Syndra after the early levels.
Ooh, that's true. Hit level 6, Death Mark, the Unleashed Power. I like it.
Could also be the Kassadin as well, so there are options against Syndra that weren't explored in previous patches that are possible here.
But if you're going to pick up the Jace, you sort of want to have one of those AP-type junglers, which is pretty much just the Elise. Possibly could go for something like a Nidalee if he wants to, but with Thresh locked in, you don't also have that support with some added damage. Ambition gonna lock away the Gragas. He's like, I got an MVP on this one. I'm gonna take it. I'm feeling good.
Could be top lane as well. QV's played plenty of it, but like you say, first instinct is that it's gonna be the jungle Gragas.
Oh, Ruler's actually gonna go straight back to the Varus. Xayah is, of course, available, but haven't seen Ruler wanting to move over towards it just yet. And this is going to be his 4th game in a row on Varus. In fact, the only champion that he's played this season.
And will we see the Kalista that Songyun's put so much time into? They have the Thresh, so that's part of it. Or will it just be the Xayah that he had a great performance on in Game 1?
Like that one a lot. Of course, no need for a Rakan ban with that Thresh being locked away, unless we're going to have some fancy Thresh jungle action or something like that. Who knows what's going to happen? ROX Tigers could fully mix it up.
Getting a bit facetious there, Atlas.
No, look, I've seen it work.
Well, your depths are not the depths of the LCK, so
that is most certainly true.
You can smile about that. No support taken for the side of Samsung, so and to answer some of these hook deniers, someone like Braum will also be considered as a ban, but Tahm Kench is the prototype.
Yeah. Fiora going to be leaving the Rift, so it looks like Samsung are assuming ROX Tigers want to play that Jace in the mid lane.
Given the performance 2 days ago, and again that Mickey has played the Jace into Syndra multiple times,
yeah,
it is, I think, a safe bet, but definitely not 100%. And it was the Braum actually as the second ban, so
nice
trying
work. Profit Papa.
Just trying to ensure that the Thresh gets the best laning phase possible. Zyra, Tahm Kench, and the Braum all have good options against the Death Sentence.
Wow, Graves actually going to be banned here. Songwan not going to be able to pick that one up, but Lee Sin is still available. There's still plenty of options here for the Tigers.
Could certainly be a selection. Songwan is no Lee Sin speciality, or specialist, I should say, by any means, but at some point you kind of have to pick what you have to pick, so it will be that Lee Sin. Now action over to Samsung. Support pool is pretty decimated. It's not Wraith today, who will be playing Lux or something crazy in this spot. So, will it be the Leona from Core JJ? That'd be a fun one.
Karma's still up, though. You can just pick that one again if he feels like it.
I just want to see a Leona.
I want Leona so bad, but it's going to probably be the Karma. I know. I'm sorry, Papa Smithy. I was talking about Thresh jungle, and then I deny your happiness by suggesting a Karma support.
Don't rain on my parade, mate.
It's just definitely disgusting. I apologize completely.
So now we're waiting on Mickey's choice into the Syndra.
Or
Potentially
choice.
the top lane, like you say. So Linderung has not played many competitive games of Rumble. Rumble against Kled is actually a pretty decent matchup early for the Rumble. It gets pretty horrible later. And checking over the history, this is his first career game in Korea on the Rumble. So it's another one of these newfangled Rumbles, which usually goes pretty great or pretty woeful depending on the preparation. So Linderung, predictably after, again, that struggle a few days ago, is not going to be jumping straight back onto the Jace. But there isn't necessarily any sort of inevitability about Jace versus Syndra. You can very happily go more first and do okay. But there is also the negative snowball if the Syndra gets that first blood.
Yeah, that is definitely true. But can sit back and use that accelerated shock blast to farm out the minion wave. And will have a fair bit of damage, I guess, early on as well in the laning phase. And you're talking about that mid lane. But if you're against Crown, you just have to expect that these Dark Spheres are going to be landing. And you can certainly find yourself in a heck of a lot of trouble if you go too far forward.
Someone going to be looking for his first career win on Lee Sin, 0-3 on that pick. Not going to have the most pressure in mid lane either unless the snowball starts going, but Sang-Yoon was one of the stars on the Xayah in game 1. He doesn't have a Blitzcrank, but the hooks will continue. And the laning trades are pretty similar if you think about it, Atlas, because still have to respect a lot of those skill shots in bot.
Yeah, and I'm actually quite scared because Key looked fantastic on the Blitzcrank. Can he back it up? Now on the Thresh with the Xayah still there. Sang-Yoon, like you just said. Phenomenal on that particular champion. We'll see whether we can do it as we hop into the Rift for game 2. This is my kind of game, Papa Smithy.
Is it because there's 5
Doran shields?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't even get out of bed before there's 5 Doran shields.
Yeah, I know, right? There's absolutely no point. But once there's 5, feeling okay. 4, not enough.
We haven't quite had the 6. When we hit the 6, that's when we know it's silly season.
Yeah. I mean, if you hit a 6, it's out of the park.
That's right.
Yeah.
No more weather. We're going to start talking about cricket.
Talking about the cricket. Perfect. How's the weather for playing cricket at the moment, Papa Smithy?
There's been too many clouds, so I think rain will stop play soon.
Hey, that's true. But look at this. It's a bit of a fiery one today.
Better late than never.
All right. We're starting it up. Fiery one, most certainly, up towards the top side as Linderung just charging that flame spitter over and over again. But it's good to have a relevant dragon on the map.
Said it a couple of times. We've seen less Rumble this week. Doran's shield is an indirect nerf to the Rumble. Direct nerfs will be coming in future patches, but every tick of the Flame Spitter does refresh the Doran shield passive. So you do get that health regen and largely negate some of the trades with Doran shield. So just one small reason why Rumble's gone from every game to every second game.
Yep. Adaptive Helm also pretty dang good.
Yep.
Once you can build that one up.
But you know that Cuvée ain't going to be building that anytime soon.
Definitely not. Oh, first hook. Gonna land from Key. Core JJ taking a fair bit of damage. But
we mentioned how Sang-Yoon can't really chase, so wasn't really too much follow-up damage. They actually seem to go about even in that damage trade.
But if it's Key getting his eye in, that's definitely a good feeling. Is Mickey just happy to take a Dark Sphere?
Well, he has auto attacks, and they hurt.
Yeah, traded very nicely there.
And it was as his jungler was invading as well, so I like the timing. Sang-Won was able to walk in when he knew that Jace had lane pressure on the Syndra.
Cuvée, good timing on the roam down as well. Gets the inside track on Linderung.
And Ambition's being denied a swift entry to the blue. Rumble's pushing in the top lane. Syndra being pushed in the mid lane, so this is a great time to invade.
Okay, Ambition looking for Sang-Won. Now Cuvée underneath his turret as well. Ambition gets the bop. Linderung's now here to help. He's just getting bullied out of his jungle now. Tigers looking like the decisions that they made looking great. Linderung overheating.
Team jungling from ROX.
Yeah, Soan now looking to trade it over to damage onto Cube. Not a great idea. Good lord, Crown now in trouble. Mickey getting the autos down. Turret shot, big problem. Dark Sphere going to be avoided. At least gets out of the. At least gets a bit of damage down with the W. Does Crown.
That was some really good team jungling from ROX. Linderung having the push in top. Mickey taking those great trades at level 1 in the mid lane, and then the invade comes in. It's just really great to see, and now Ambition has to flash away. Counter jungling is a team effort, was what Diamond Proc said so long ago, and we're seeing a team effort here.
Mickey, oh, there's the flash. Oh, can Crown get out of the way? No, first blood goes to Crown. Disaster for Mickey.
And then there was the Mickey moment.
Oh, they're taking the Mickey, aren't they, Papa Smithy?
Well, I'd like to say it's the first time I've seen Mickey do that, but Mickey sometimes sees kills that are not there. Moment of Madness undoes what was a really good start from the ROX Tigers. Still have only a faint gold lead, the Samsung, but it's been such a big pressure lead that's now maybe not gone, but certainly a bit more minute than it was a moment ago.
I would say abated, most certainly, Pop Smithy.
Oh, nice English.
Thank you. I can do it sometimes, I just prefer not to. It's not on brand. CoreJJ spots out some wards, decides not to delve too greedily.
Had a big minion advantage in the bot lane, so natural pushing advantage meant that he could go for a walk and get that vision.
He gets hit by that harpoon. Linderung, quite a good performance here. You mentioned the fact that, you know, this isn't necessarily his champion. Not one of the Marins of the world.
The early game, it's a really easy lane for Linderung. Just weaves in between the minion line and pushes minions, while Cube can only do one or the other when it comes to harassing or auto-attacking minions. So pre-Tiamat and let's say 1.5 items. I think Rumble wins the lane pretty hard, but gets outscaled and certainly is a target for the charge in the late game.
Mickey actually setting himself up. Someone is going to be able to grab. That's actually the first blue, so Mickey decided not to steal that one away. Wants to allow someone to actually get some money on this map.
That was actually both sides of the Mantra Q heading on to Songyun.
Songyun actually taking a fair bit of damage here in this lane thus far. A lot of feathers down though.
Is that a 2 potion lead for Ruler? I think it is. So significant regen advantage for the Varus.
Goodness me. Dangerous. But thankfully, the door and shield, it exists.
It does.
Just needs to make sure he soaks as many piercing arrows as he can for the regen.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah, I'm actually really good on this patch. I just build a Doran shield and I just say that when I get hit by every skill shot...
You're juking the right way.
Yeah. I just wanted to get the regen. Actually, that doesn't work that way.
You can't regen when you're full health, Max.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, you know, using your flash all the time. You're not getting anything out of it if it's not on cooldown, Pub Smithy.
So you just run full flat HP regen coins.
Yeah.
Used to be a staple on top laners once upon a time.
You're giving my secrets away.
Linderung just about killed that cannon minion. It was a bit of struggle street, but he did it.
Yeah, got there. But QV has evened things out. Linderung's going to be able to grab a bunch of these creeps, but it's not really much in it.
Seems like he'll be a resident Kled as well. Well, QV.
Yeah.
Feels like we can only have one in a league at a time. It was Ixu in the spring season, and he lost twice and didn't play it again. I think ADD played 1 game as well, but that was also a loss.
Linderung's just going to equalize this wave, head back home with some super Fandangle music. I'm a big fan. I like that skin. Is that like almost the only skin that... Oh no, we still see Rumble in the jungle, don't we?
Very rarely. Feels like in Korea it's been almost all the Super Galaxy Rumble.
Yeah. Don't see any Buccaneer Rumble at all. If you want to be full hipster, make sure you're picking that skin.
When Prolly used to be a mid laner, he used to play mid lane Rumble with that skin. I don't know why I remember that.
That is weird. I mean, I only really remember Prolly for playing Annie all the time.
And Ziggs.
And Ziggs and Kennen in the mid lane when it wasn't meta. Man, Prolly played some weird stuff.
He did. He was a hipster.
That's probably why I liked him so much. Also a really lovely guy. Now, CoreJJ and Ruler have shoved this wave forward. Key heading back home. Songyun Be able to use that Blade Caller to get a fair bit of wave clear, but otherwise a lot of pressure being given by Samsung.
Mickey was going for the double long swords before any sort of null magic mantle shenanigans. 80s don't have the same itemization improvements that 8-beat champions do against mid lane mages.
Oh, this is scary. Okay, Ambition in trouble. He's going to get kicked back. There's a resonating strike. Good timing, but good belly bop to avoid a bunch of that damage. The play's there. Key says, well, we're going to easily grab this kill. We're going to deliver it to Mickey as well to help him out. Linderung, he was also down here, and ROX, coordinated play even now in game number 2.
Yeah, we saw the coordinated play with the invade at level 1. I guess that Linderung was walking down to potentially fight for an Infernal Drake, but everyone backs away. No jungle item means you'll fall pretty low and take a while completing that Infernal Drake. So it's just a pick, but still, it's going to be a settler for the ROX Tigers. It's one apiece.
Okay, looking for Crown, just walks up, straight up hooks him. The exhaust is there. There's the flash and the knockback. Unleashed power is going to be enough to get the kill on the Thresh, but Mickey gets his second.
It ends up being a 1-for-1, and Mickey crucially did use his flash as well. So,
Crown didn't even need his. Wow, okay.
Well, he realized he was going to die, but he also realized that with no magic resist purchased on Mickey, he was in a good spot to potentially get a 1-for-1 in a situation where ROX had invested more resources with Key being in the mid lane. He also flashed and exhausted, so
that's
all
3
in all,
summoners for
just the one.
No summoners and a kill.
I think the Ghost was used by Crown, but I could be lying on that point.
But as you can see, if he did use it, that cooldown certainly well on its way to being back up again.
And it continues, Mickey, to not show any respect with his items. Probably going towards Ghostblade as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
First blue buff is stolen. This one looks like it's going to be collapsed on. As Cuvée was walking over. Equalizes back up.
Ambition in a rough time, but Songwan gets the fadeaway smite. Steals away the blue.
Does mean that Crown will have less laning pressure against Mickey, so this seems to be a pre-planned strategy. First passing over Mickey an early kill. And now also just robbing Crown of blue buffs, which means that holding and matching the wave plus harassing is a little bit less mana efficient. Still playing with fire, Mickey. Once again, not picking up any magic resist in his items.
Yeah. He does at least have a cleanse to get out of a Scatter the Weak stun. But I mean, it's not going to help him against a cask or anything like that coming out of Ambition if he was to try and gank that lane. Vision being cleared out. Blue buff going to be delivered to Mickey once Songwan gets down here, but before that, this wave needs to be dealt with.
I mean, the theory behind a build like this is that he's going to call in reinforcements and take the outer mid lane turret sometime early, because if you look down the lineup, Magic just doesn't do him much value against anyone other than Crown. Well,
that is going to be the kill. Those orbs are going to follow you, and I'm sorry, the Dark Passage Shield is not enough to save Songwan's life. And that, just textbook combination of spells from Crown, 100 to zeros, the jungle.
Yeah, 3-1, and the reward here will be the Infernal Drake as well. Of all picks, this is the one that makes the Infernal Drake a free objective. So, Samsung, Crown just exiting lane, finding a face-checking Lee Sin and taking him out.
Now, JJ getting a lot of damage onto Key. They take the Dragon. Things looking fantastic for Samsung, but it's not demonstrated in the gold. Only going to be separated by about 200, but... Oh, there we are. Back to the Cloud Drakes. Nice work. We can talk about the weather again, Papa Smithy. We're all good. That first Infernal to go to Samsung is very important, like you said.
Yeah, Crown had to hold his build. He went for the Seeker's Arm Guard first, just to not lose out to the all-ins, noticing that Mickey was going super offensive. Doesn't need to complete the Zonias if he doesn't want to. Lost Chapter makes a lot more sense and start working towards the Merlinomicon.
Yep, now going for a bit of that damage. You can utilize the stacking effect of the Seeker's Arm Guard as well. I quite like that, holding onto it just for a little bit longer. Its efficiency is quite high when you reach max stack.
JJ able to hold the wave in a way that's gotten Key killed many times in Spring, you'll remember.
Yeah.
He was our main offender of dying off screen, because why would you watch someone freezing a wave as an observer?
Well, because Key's in the game, I guess. Songwan now looking for a kill onto Cuvée. Everyone getting in here. That's a 4-man dive. Equalizer goes down, but the charge going to get him out of here.
That was 5 men invested to the top lane. If they get the first brick, it'll still be worth it. Get the turret low, but Ambition is here, waiting for the next minion wave.
Yep, it's going to be 4 people. Mickey's going to go back to the mid lane as Key.
No wave there.
Tanking
really.
up the turret. There's the explosive cast. The hook lands onto Ambition. They finish the turret, and they get the kill onto the jungler. First brick and a kill is going to put them ahead in gold by about 1,000.
That was puzzling from Ambition. Throwing out the cask in the queue is fine, but otherwise no one was coming. Syndra was not rotating. Varus certainly wasn't going to be there. Karma was just around the blue buff. Just ended up giving away a bonus objective there, or a bonus kill, I guess I should say.
Oh, yes.
On the side of Samsung.
Aww. I wanted the Herald.
It's a KT
again.
Rift Herald. That's all we know.
Okay. Doesn't work for the Tigers. But definitely still an incredibly even game. Accelerated Shock Blast enough to clear out the back wave as Crown. Can he get the kill here? And this is why you build a Hex Trigger. Never mind. He's going to be fine.
Another Q and he would have been dead though.
Yeah.
It's 1 sphere and 1 harass spell short of getting the 100 to 0.
Certainly would have been it. Now going to go back and continues to go for this aggressive build. Does have some extra health now with the Phage.
Again, what this says is they want to gank Crown, kill him, just DPS down the turret, and then have Jace in a scenario where, because he's long range and because he's happy to be in side lanes the majority of the game, never be in range of the magic damage from Syndra. He's not respecting the magic damage coming out from Core JJ or Ambition. If it was double AP, a Hex Drinker into more would have been just academic, but seems like Mickey's just relying on the Cleanse Flash, which, given the Ambition in weight, can certainly be a risk.
And how do you feel about the Xayah in this particular composition? Because I just feel like if they do get... Oh, there's the Flash Body Slam. I'll get back to that point, but the Flash from Mickey after the Cleanse is going to get him to safety.
Had to use 2 Summoners, though, and those were down for a long time.
Song1 had a lot of mobility options there at his disposal, but chooses to safeguard his way out. Going to find too much more as Crown moves down towards the bottom side of the map. Key.
Yeah, Thresh was in vision.
Okay, lying in sort of somewhat wait. Gets himself out of the way.
Big vision battle here, trying to reclaim the quadrant around mid lane towards the Drake. There's no Drake respawning, so no real impetus for Samsung to defend vision when vision that area, for now at least, is of lower value.
Well, someone...
Nope, that's not how you do it, someone.
That's a bit of a scar. Returning to professional play, of course.
That's true.
Echo Fox. How
got
exciting.
A big information that the North American Challenger Series will have a lot of former superstars.
There's been a lot of times that you've had real impetus to watch a Challenger Series, but...
I usually watch it because it's on.
Yeah, I do that too. However, I wouldn't be looking for, I wouldn't be putting in my diary, you know, to say, oh, bet my team in the Challenger Series is going to be on. This may certainly change that.
That's a really smart move, branding-wise.
Oh, yeah.
For
most
Rick Fox and his squads, because now a lot of new people will be fans of Echo Fox, and specifically their Challenger team, and whatever happens in the future, at least a percentage will also be fans of the LCS team.
I just hope that the team gets interviewed after every single game, because I just want to hear AmaCutiePie's opinion on everything. Splash going to be thrown out by Key. Engagement going to come down as Samsung looking for yet another Rift Herald.
Spotted, so they know it started.
Oh, immediately backing away as well. A lot of respect given the ROX Tigers as Ruler has slowed down Mickey. Crown can't close the gap.
Linderung's recalling, might have the gold for the Leandries. Cancels the recall. Samsung have been really enjoyed pretty much a monopoly over this red side quadrant. In general, their warding situation is superior to that of the ROX Tigers, given they've had a lot more map pressure since the early misfire from Mickey.
Still, a fair bit of vision available to them.
I feel like I don't know the leash range of the new Rift Herald very well.
I feel like he barely even has one. I know he can't get to the red buff pit.
Hey, remember, we're not assuming anything, Atlas.
Hey, that's true. They.
I hear a charge.
Yeah, they're looking for it. It's going to be Song1. Good play from Key, though. Gets a cute little hook. But Sungyun's not going to be able to get in there. It's going to be Key sacrificing himself. They do only get the minimum on the side of the Samsung Galaxy squad, though.
Yeah, but they're battling before Songyun has any relevant items. Speaking of battling.
Whoa, there's the equalizer actually being thrown down. CoreJJ taking a lot of damage. Linderung wants to burn him to death, and they do get that kill. Mickey in the mid lane, just trying to go aggressive onto Ruler and Crown. Nowhere to be seen, moving up the bottom river. Okay, no Rift Herald to be started here on the side of the Tigers, however. Cube's just freely able to head back to this lane, clear it out, and still with a lot of vision in this river.
Yeah, Linderung was seeing a lot of gold. He went back and straight bought Leandris from Haunting Guys. So they just thought better of rushing down the Herald. Herald only has about another minute and a half of life left, so would have to be attempted in the next minute. So perhaps we'll live to tell the tale this time. We've seen a lot of Rift Herald takes today.
Yeah. Haroldine, I believe, was the...
Maybe I spoke too soon.
Okay, ROX looking for it, but there is vision.
It's as the recalls came through, though, so you can see all 3 carries are in base still.
Yeah, and now a lot of soul vision being gained by Key with some well-placed wards. CoreJJ is going to move up, but I believe there's going to be a hook in answer. Songyun going to turn up, try and take this one down. They really want to fight for this. Linderung has his teleport. If he wants to get down here, everyone's going to escape as has to use the ultimate. That is going to be the Rift Herald taken by Cuvee. Featherstorm now on cooldown. Songyun is in a lot of trouble. Crown wants to press his R button.
And the item leads are here for Samsung. They have Melanomicon. The Blade of the Ruin King heavily outclasses the straight-up Essence Reaver that Songyun has. Very much a building block item for the Zeal and the Infinity Edge items that will come in the future. So forcing ROX to back away with just a teleport, claiming an objective, and Samsung have once again been the best team using the Rift Herald. So we'll see what they decide to do. Just breaking the mid lane turret has been the percentage move that we've seen so far.
Yeah, have liked it. And I realized I was asking you the question before some action broke out a few minutes ago, Papa Smithy, about why you'd pick this short-range AD carry in Xayah without actually thinking about the Featherstorm being phenomenal against Unleashed Power. So Crown can certainly try and kill Songyun once that ultimate has been utilized. However, it's not just a free kill on an AD carry when you're talking about Xayah.
An interaction that's kind of interesting because you want to lift up and actually dodge the stun with it. It doesn't pop damage when you jump up, so I don't believe it pops the damage from the Unleashed Power. So how you use it is specific, but still can be very strong against, as you say, the Syndra play pattern.
Yeah. It's a bit frustrating, so you're just going to use his Smite, get rid of the Gromp. Crown says, well, I guess the Gromp's dead.
Camera on Ambition, trying to wait for that Rift Herald, and here we go. Looking for a mid lane turret.
Rest of his team is there. Key lying in wait, has Mickey there to help him out.
They just want to zone away from the Rift Herald. First bit of burst. Yep, couple of autos instead.
Yep, that tower was already relatively low though. Someone's going to get a kick flash onto Crown. Oh, a bit late on the flash there, but Crown is going to turn that one around. Brilliant equalizer, but is it enough? It is certainly not. Songwan going aggressive, but not quite finding what he wanted. And Linderung so close to having the equalizer just there.
Yeah, the right terrain for it, but Charge actually really negated a lot of the slow, and it was a little bit shallow. So everyone got off with only 1 or 2 ticks. Your eyes light up when you see multiple people fighting in a corridor like that, but all in all, wasn't the equalizer of excellence that it seemed to be threatening to be.
Yeah, and Linderung, of course, having a turnaround series. Comparison to last time we saw the Tigers. It's impressive to see. Had him farm by just a little bit as well. Heading back, probably has the Zhonya's available to him. And still, this series, only 1,000 gold in it. And it's not like series number 1, where the Tigers seemed like they had all the answers. What Samsung wanted to do. Right now, Crown, he's got a lot of answers. The Ghost Blade has to be used. No Ghost to be going down from Crown, but he doesn't want to take unnecessary risks.
He didn't have Flash Shop. He would have Flash QR'd there, I think, if he had it there, Crown. But didn't have Flash to get 1 more sphere to kill the Jace.
He's falling down but in farm just a little bit to Ruler, who's having a much better game this time around. Still, does not deserve to steal away the Rift Scuttler.
I think just in general, Xayah against the comp, given that you invited the point, the Featherstorm's super good against Gragas ultimate, Varus ultimate.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason is hilariously overextended, the charge as well. So Xayah in the late game has already shown that she can kind of solo be the insurance or solo carry to be able to win late game fights, and has acceleration gate, potentially can be in the back line. And it's another comp from Samsung that if that CC doesn't hit onto her initially, doesn't do damage to back lines very easy. However, if the front line falls behind, and really no one can build magic resist apart from Songwon on the side of ROX Tigers, the front line does die fast enough, and then, well, you're going to be denied from doing damage anyway if you're Songyun.
Yep. Well, has at least his rapid fire cannon.
Yeah, not thinking he's going to be spreading the hurricane bolts to other people in this sort of a game. Oh, rapid fire cannon to get a hit in and run away.
Okay, Songyun looking aggressive. In goes Mickey. His ambition's going to flash his way out. Okay, Key just going to pop a big barrel, and there's the equalizer, trying to split up Samsung. Bit of a questionable decision right there, and Samsung now move towards this inner turret all too easy.
Yeah, they lose more with a teleport, and that full-on attempt to initiate a fight was never going to work with an equalizer like that, so lose a mid-lane turn. Here's the turn.
Yeah, there's the charge to get Cube in there. Songwon gets his way out. Cube taking a lot of damage. As Songyun has used that ultimate crown, utilizes that timing and picks up the kill, but goes down for it. Can Linderung burn these guys down? I don't know.
Yeah, Ruler's free hitting.
Oh, God, so much damage, and Ambition's going to grab kill credit for that one. So Samsung all over that fight, and Crown, really impressive timing on the ultimate.
And Samsung with Ambition were always strongest in the late game and the team fight decision making. The decision was made to use the charge to go in because Equalizer had been used. And think of that same fight in a narrow corridor in the jungle with Equalizer and without it. It swings the fight completely. And from there, they win a fight, they'll take Baron, and Samsung now are in full control of Game 2.
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's about a 5,000 gold lead, and let's have a look at this one again.
You never ever fight like this and initiate like this if Equalizer is up. But Linderung goes from being the most imposing figure to just a meek cat in this particular fight because doesn't have the Equalizer to turn it. So many low health members would have gone down, and Ruler had no worries whatsoever. Was not going to be zoned away like the Equalizer would have been. No dissuading for him means that he was free hitting, and sure, didn't pick up any kills. But 0-0 and 5, and now adding gold toward what already is a CS advantage over Sung.
Yep, 30 CS in the lead. A little bit more, actually, for Ruler. He's having a great time. And someone has riffed this game. 0-1 and 2. Songyun struggling just a tad. But honestly, that last fight could have honestly been the best time for Xayah. Just took Crown to be very forward-thinking, understanding that that ultimate was down. He needed to kill the one consistent damage dealer. Was able to ruin their day and did so before he died himself. So fight one, and the reward is an inner turret that they were able to grab just before, and that Baron buff they're now utilizing to push Tigers in and extend this gold lead.
Yeah, Samsung has so many great options now. There's a lot of kill pressure in the Kled lane onto Rumble, 2 levels up, and hit the item spikes that allow him to solo down a Rumble. Syndra's great in a siege situation, as we can see on our screens. And meanwhile, Varus kind of can either choose to group with the Syndra in a 4-1, or just come and help out with a turret dive onto the Rumble.
Yeah, throw out that Chains of Corruption, set things up for Cuvée. Over Crown. Let's have an Inspire Shield now, but still takes a fair bit of damage here from Mickey. Hasn't bought any items in quite a while. Songwon was looking to try and find a flank, but doesn't. Inner turret falls on the bottom side of the map.
Nothing Linderung can do.
Yeah. Ruler free hitting with Cuvée being a beefy tank in the front line with damage items. It's a scary time. Linderung turns up. No inhibitor to be lost inside of the Tigers.
They picked the Rumble into the Kled, knowing full well this would happen eventually. But if you remember the early game plan, it was the invade, which worked so well until Mickey went Rambo. And a couple of over-aggressive moments early meant that the plan of just rotating the Rumble, taking turrets, and ending the game before this phase was no longer a realistic option here for the ROX Tigers, whose Jace picks seem to have hurt them more than they've worked for them so far in Summer Season.
Oh, Ruler actually took a lot of damage there. Blade Caller rooting him down. I find it confusing that you've got Root Caller on Ivern, and then Blade Caller that also roots.
I mean, when you have 140-something champions, hard not to repeat names.
That's true. I think Crescent spell names are probably worse. There's 3 of those. They're all different, and I have no idea which one's which.
That's true.
Oh, okay, not going to be able to body slam out of that one. There's the red carpet going down as well as Ruler takes half of his health bar and damage. Redemption comes in, and there's the stun. Crown was looking for the ultimate, but doesn't actually use it onto anyone.
We reached the point in the game where Redemption does answer Equalizer quite a lot.
Nice work from Cuvée. Gets himself out of the way.
Didn't even need to flash.
Yeah.
Didn't have it, but the E was enough distance there to be kicked in a favorable location.
Good skin for that particular ability name as well, the Joust. One moves his way around. Will have Dragon Rage back up relatively soon. Of course, that nerf not affecting rank 3 of the ability. Rank 2 not as far away as well, just noticing the fact that he's still level 13.
Crown sitting on a lazy 3,300 gold. If you look at it, they had about 8,000 gold unspent, which is the whole gold lead unspent for Samsung, so...
Haven't been back since the Baron went down.
Yeah, opting into a fight there would have been actually close in terms of item timings. About 3,000-4,000 more in the bank for them. Now the purchases, Death Cap added on for Crown. He realizes there's no front line. Only magic resists a couple of Hex Drinkers, and he's like, well, time to just burst someone into another realm.
What do you need for that? You need a wizard hat. That's what you need. Just shows that hats make you percentage-based stronger. Exponential hat domination growth. This Crown just tests his newfound ultimate. Shield's there.
Short cooldown on that ability, so happy to throw it out. Wasn't quite level 16. Don't think he would have got the kill, but certainly would have got closer.
Scat of the week. Not going to find too much. Sangyun, decent wave clear here.
Yeah, close to the Infinity Edge, that 3-item Xayah that we're still really trying to understand the power level of.
Yeah.
I know she's super strong in the late game, but I can't tell you, is she better than Caitlyn at 5 items? Don't really know.
Is she better than Cogmore? Probably not.
Pass-through damage, I think, is really underrated, so that's why I start to creep forward in terms of how strong she is in the late game.
Yeah.
Anything that lets you do 50% of a full build to people that are outside your attack range is strong, as they really, really want to get onto
Cuvée, but they actually can't.
Nope.
He just charges his way out.
That was the shortest charge I've seen before. That it didn't hit a champion.
Doesn't want to leave too far.
Nope.
And Samsung going to utilize this. The rest of them just going to take this inhibitor easily. Oh, maybe not so easily, as the ROX collapse was much quicker than anticipated. Okay, there's the catch. The ultimate comes down, but Songwon actually survives. The ultimate comes in. Good heal. Redemption's there, but it does spell.
It kills him!
Oh my god! The counter redemption!
They were redeemed!
I actually thought that was the Tiger's redemption. Oh dear.
Good job, Core JJ.
Yeah,
nice skill shot.
Hey, still technically a skill shot.
It is a skill shot. It was a nice skill shot.
Yeah. I had an argument about this recently.
Someone's tilted.
Oh, you got redeemed. Is that what you say when you go home and your mum asks, why are you upset? You say, oh, I got redeemed.
No.
No?
Just mumble something about bad beats. Hard to tell if it's a poker player or a solo queue player, but it's the same story.
Do you have to do it in any particular accent?
No.
Okay. I've never used the phrase bad beats before. I feel like that's a relatively colloquial term.
Definitely a poker one.
I like it. Not very good at poker.
Want to play poker later?
Yeah, sure. You want to take my money? Maybe I should just buy you dinner. Like it's an easier way to do it. Just get straight to the me losing money part.
That's the story I can get behind.
You betcha. Infinity Edge is done. Sangyun. He's ready to do some damage. Ruler also, well and truly, ready to do some damage. Has his at the same time. Almost has his Mercurial Scimitar as well for that 4-item damage spike.
If Crown can somehow be trivialized, I think maybe Sangyun can start to do something, but even with pass-through damage, going to be tricky to negate Crown just...
Yeah, the Spring MVP being trivialized is a tall order.
Can be killed.
Oh, there's the hook on a Ruler, though. Big
Equalizer?
Damage. Cuvée makes himself a body, and Ruler's actually made his way out to safety. Chains of Corruption do actually land, I believe, and that's the stun onto Songwon. Cube jumps his way forward. Linderong doing a lot of damage to Ambition. Linderong, does he have the ultimate? No, the equalizer had already gone down, but no one to die just yet. Mickey, very low on the back line. Linderong, that's going to be the kill. Core JJ going super bloodthirsty, picks that one up himself with the flash. Will
that be enough to secure Baron for the side of Samsung Galaxy? That's the objective they really want. Songwon is going to have to stick around. Guve's already teleported back in, so he's full health.
It's actually Core JJ just wanting a kill.
Songyun does incredible damage.
Yeah, but does need to stay alive as well. Dark Passage helps him do just that. Samsung Galaxy move back towards... Okay.
Well, Mickey has another job to do.
Exactly. That inhibitor being down was a little bit of a problem. And remember, Mickey doesn't have any teleports or anything like that. Oh, Crown. That's just a dead Xayah.
Can't check every brush that time. The Syndra was there. Should be Baron unless Songwon can pull off a miracle. Oh, they're not going to DPS it.
And he dives himself around. That is going to be Ambition securing the Baron. And Samsung most likely securing a Game 2 victory is key. He's going to try and flay his way to safety. However, it will be difficult. Pulls himself towards Cube just to confirm his fate.
Actually lost a Nexus turret through all of that as well. The minion waves in every lane have been pushing for Samsung Galaxy. They come up with a Baron buff. I'm going to a Game 3 and a Game 6 for the night, Atlas.
Oh yeah, we're getting as much League of Legends as possible, Papa Smithy. And for the last game for us, at least here at this studio, the last day for week 1, I'm excited. You know, I'm glad that we're having a big finale for the first week, because it's been a good week of League of Legends and a good week of really interesting results, especially if the Tigers somehow managed to fight back in Game 3.
And when it comes to power levels of teams, feels like the first week definitely asked more questions than it answered, but when it comes to showing us new stuff and giving us ideas of what's coming, it's committed that is Cuba's going in, but nowhere in particular.
Yep, charge, charge, charge. They're looking for the Lee Sin. He gets boot back with that gigantic cask, and that is going to be an easy kill by Ruler. I believe that was just one cheeky auto attack that may have crit for about 1 billion damage.
1 billion, you say?
Yeah, about 1 billion. That's an estimate.
We talked about the front line going down. Lee Sin's the only person you call a front line, so even though Songyun does wicked sick damage, probably not going to matter.
No. Especially when the rest of the base is getting dismantled completely. Cube now with his Gargoyle Stone Plate. Makes things even more difficult. He jumps right in amongst everyone. The unkillability of Kled is outstanding.
Has to use it before he's dismounted, because doesn't actually interact with bonus health there.
Well, Equalizer goes down mostly on the mini wave, but that is still going to be the death of the turret key. He's going to be an afterthought kill running forward, and Linderong, that was an embarrassing placement of the Flame Spitter. 2 easy kills. The last Nexus turret is going to be alive for approximately half a second, and the Nexus will follow the same way. We're going to Game 3. Samsung even it out against the ROX Tigers.
These Syndras are going really big in both games. First pick Syndra, another new meta when it comes to match-specific pick bans. Syndra's been banned pretty frequently all week, but not many teams have had the same level of consistent play. Crown jumps onto the champion that he made his own in spring, just like he did Victor last year, as an imperious performance on it. And maybe it will have to be a red side ban, as unless they've got something they're willing to send out at Samsung, probably going to be first picked again for the ROX Tigers.
Yeah, so tonight it's either Syndra is going to win or Syndra is going to be banned. In our first series, all 3 games, Syndra was banned first or second. So either banned first up on the blue side or first up on the red side. So Samsung make use of it as well. So I feel like that is a pick that probably just shouldn't get through. We were talking about this just before getting into game number 2. What are some of these picks that should definitely be banned? And I feel like Syndra certainly has proven herself to be something that you don't want to just try and deal with.
Yeah, the more things change, the more things stay the same. With the mid lane meta, at least. No Galio to just do a full containment job and build double magic resist items like we've seen teams elect into against the Cassiopeia. And obviously Galio would have a painful time until those items were completed. So like you say, all right, you know, both teams have had their chance. In Game 3, will be a red side ban for Samsung Galaxy, but Samsung really want to steady the ship and join Longzhu at +3 and 2 match wins.
Yeah, make sure they can get to the top of the table. Will be exactly the same scorelines as well, Papa Smithy, like you just indicated. So exciting to see, but we'll see after the break whether it's going to be Samsung following through.